I believe we have all seen what Sowore had to say about the ongoing court case between VDM and Linus Williams, also known as B-Lord. For those who have not, here it is.
Copyright infringement does not even exist as a charge. This is one of the most ridiculous charges I've ever seen. You cannot copyright the head of an animal and claim it's your own. But let's assume, without considering that you have a copyright claim on it, the person or the organization to prosecute that is the National Copyright Commission. They have a prosecutor for fighting against copyright infringements. Because the law with copyright is that the moment you create something, it's copyrighted. But the moment we go legal, it changes the game. They will be asking you, because you have to pay the Copyright Commission to copyright certain things, even though it's your right. Then, if you are talking about copyrights, that's another issue. Then there's trademark. And there are things you cannot trademark in the world. Yes. They are generic, you can't trademark them. If you then have to trademark it, then you have to go to the international body that is in charge of trademarks. Some people have asked that, I've seen arguments that, oh, what about Apple? It's trademarked. It is Apple that somebody has beaten that is trademarked. The Apple itself is not trademarked. Because you cannot trademark. That's why the people who trademark Apple had to bite it before they trademarked it. Because apple as a fruit cannot be trademarked. You understand? You can't trademark an animal called rattle. It doesn't exist in the trademark registry. And if anybody trademark it, it cannot be as it is. It has to be that maybe you bite the ear of the rattle off. So that, or the one without teeth.
What are the things that need to change in the criminal justice?
Everything has to change in our criminal justice system. The judiciary is in a mess. And I'm glad that the Nigeria Bar Association president has woken up finally. He's now talking about judges interfering in cases, internal affairs of parties. That was what we were talking about when Wike brought us to this court to try to hijack, but that time they kept silent because it didn't affect their favorite candidates. They didn't care. But now, we said it even then that this thing that is happening to us will get to everybody. It's the same thing we are saying about what has happened to B-Lord. If you let it pass, it will come out, they will come after every one of you. And it will get to a point where they will not even come to the judiciary anymore. They will be coming to your houses with machete to kill you because you are opposed to, a cult personality. You don't live in a country where you are afraid to speak up because somebody has the police behind him or the army. Because all this thing has to do with relationships that people don't understand. All the army people, police people, we know the game. All right? Yes. But we are not going to live in a country where another person cannot freely speak their mind and sleep at home. That is why Tinubu brought me to court. I spoke my mind about what is true about him, instead of him to face up to it and admit that he has lived a criminal life in the past. You are asking the DSS to bring me to court. DSS gets to court, bring a fake witness. We are interrogating the witness. You say the interrogation or the cross-examination is too much. Judge asks lawyer to kneel down in this country in front of him. Is that the judiciary of the future? So, but the sacrifice that has to be made, and this is where I will end it here, except you have other questions, has to be made by some of us. If I'm the one that will be used, that will be cancelled, killed, or eviscerated, or condemned, I will offer myself so that nobody in this country suffer this kind of injustice in the future. It is what I did when I was in the university. It is what I did with Egbetokun. Everybody was saying at that time, oh, he has started his tenure. If you like, go and die. His tenure is going to end in 2050. We told you that if you fight, you will win. If you don't fight, you have lost. So that's our position on this one. Yeah.
Looking forward to 2027 general election.
Yes.
So what if INEC actually declared Tinubu as the winner? So are you going to accept the result?
If Tinubu is declared a winner after a free, fair, and credible election, we will have no option than to accept it. We accepted, we didn't participate in June 12 election. But when the result came out and we judged that it was free and fair, we accepted it and queued behind the winner, who was never declared. But what must not be lost on us before you take my statement out of context is that Tinubu can never, by nature, character, and by design, operate a free and fair election. It is not in his DNA. So, perish the thought that Tinubu will just sit down somewhere and we allow free and fair elections to happen. The only way free and fair elections can happen in Nigeria is to be ready for a revolution at the ballot or at the barricades. That is the only way you can have free and Nigeria has not had free and fair elections since June 12, 1993. Every other election is, selection. And that is what you must prepare yourself for. But if INEC wants to give Tinubu the next presidency without election, through selection, they must be ready for Nigerians. That's what we are saying. Point.
Sowore, this is a message for you. Some Nigerians still believe you have been fighting against every corrupt regime since time immemorial. But some reasonable Nigerians have always seen beyond the surface. My advice to you is simple. If you have switched sides, come out clean and tell Nigerians the truth. Stop deceiving the people. Tell those who still believe you are fighting the corrupt system exactly what you are doing now. Don't hide behind activism while collecting government money. The same way you exposed others, expose yourself too. If you are truly on their side now, own it openly. Don't pretend to still be fighting the system you are eating from. That kind of double game only makes you look like every other politician, and the youths you claim to fight for will never forgive you for it. The world is changing, and I advise you to come out clean and show where you truly stand. The Bible has a verse for people like you and D-Worm. It says in Revelation 3:16, "So, because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth." And to all the Nigerian youths planning to go into politics in the future, I suggest you change the mindset of going there to steal like others. Because people like VDM and the Rattels are here to stay. We will bring positive change to this country, and history will remember us as the saints that delivered our nation.